Alright, so I had someone ask me about my heads-up display. There's a couple of videos on YouTube actually that demonstrate it. There's a guy who has a GXP who has his who demonstrates his heads-up display, but I'm still getting some questions about it, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain exactly what it is. If you can see right about here, I'll try to get in here. It's kind of hard to see at this angle, but there's actually a projector inside here with a mirror and a glass pane in the outside that projects an image onto the windshield. Now, this windshield is actually special. I know you probably can't read that, but it's actually special glass for HUDs. Now, there are people out there that have modified and added HUDs to their cars, and it seems to work out okay. But this windshield is actually specifically designed for head-up display. So, basically, what the head-up display is, I'll demonstrate it here in a second, but it allows you to see various things about your car, such as your speed, the radio controls. It tells you what station you're on, the compass, outside temperature, things like that. And basically the point is to keep your eyes on the road or in front of you rather than looking down. And the thing that I really like about the head-up display is that I can use my steering column or steering wheel radio controls to change the radio settings or whatever without even looking down at my radio, because it tells me what station I'm on or what I'm doing, if I'm seeking, things like that. So that's pretty nice. And as a matter of fact, I very, very rarely look down at my gauges anymore to get my speed. It's such a habit that I'm looking forward and I just kind of glance down a little bit to see my speed, that I rarely look down at my gauges. So as far as safety is concerned, it's nice to have, although not too many people actually stare down at their gauges. The main point of it is to be able to access your radio and so on without looking down at your controls and changing your station or whatever. So it is a nice safety feature. Now, the head-up display is available on most of the Grand Prix. I posted a video a couple of weeks ago about the different options that were available on the different packages, the GT, the base model, GTP, competition package, and GXP. And somebody did mention that the GT2 in the 04s, you could in fact get the head-up display. So I was mistaken that it was only available on the Comp G. So that is something to note. The GT2, which was the highest trim level below the GTP, you could actually get this. Now it is controlled by this right here. Basically, this is off, and you have these hash marks here that give you the intensity of the display or brightness of the display. I always have it as bright as possible. And you can actually have it off if you want, if you prefer not to have it on. And then there's different options. These two arrows here actually focus the head-up display or HUD up and down to give it the best line of sight for you. If it's too low, then you just move it up. If it's too high, you move it down. Really easy. And there's a few options here. This will actually allow you to go into what's called stealth mode. I've never used it, never found a purpose for it, but basically what it does is it dims your radio, your controls, your gauges. It dims everything in your car. So basically you have no lights, no nothing, not even your DIC. and it only runs the head-up display. It's kind of cool if you were having problems at night, if you're drinking or whatever, and you could only see ahead of you and wanted to focus on the road. But other than that, it really doesn't have much use to it unless you really don't like the interior ambience of your controls. So it is kind of a weird feature, but it does work. I mean, there's probably a use or two for it. I've just never found any use for it. Other than that, that's basically it for the controls. Those of you that don't have this in its place is actually just an empty kind of cup holder type thing. It's like a flip thing that you just put trash in it or whatever. So anyway, I'll go ahead and now it may be a little difficult to see, but this is actually the HUD right here. I don't know how well my camera's picking this up, but you can see here that obviously it's got my speedometer, the outside temperature, what gear I'm in currently, and compass. And as I said, you can move this up or down, and you can basically turn it off. This is the lowest setting, up to the highest setting, which I always have it on. Then you can, the middle button actually allows you to hide the compass, and you can show the compass here. If you hold down the button, which it's probably not going to do it right now simply because I'm not driving, it'll activate the stealth mode. So all the gauges will go dim or off. Everything inside the car will go off except for this HUD. That's basically it. It's pretty useful. There are other cars, as far as non-domestic cars or non-US cars. I'm not sure what it was available in, but I know that the Corvette has this feature option. Some Buicks, the Lucerne, I believe, the later Buicks have this feature. Of course, all the Grand Prix right from, I believe it was 87 or 88 in the Special Touring Edition was actually the first GM car to offer this. And it was pretty much offered on all the Grand Prix all the way up until the last year. But unfortunately, it wasn't offered on a lot of other cars, and I don't know why. I really like this feature. If I'm not driving my car, I have the habit of continuously looking down to see where my HUD is, and of course it's not there. Once you've driven with it, you get used to it being there, and it's a really great feature. I just wish the GM and all the other automakers would actually put this in more of their vehicles. The Pontiac Aztek actually had this. I did not like it at all. My sister owned one, and I drove it, and the HUD was so low and you couldn't adjust it very high that you were basically looking down as low as your gauges were. So I always thought it was pretty worthless in the Aztek. I don't know if they fixed that later on, but the 03 Aztek that she had, the HUD would just barely get above the dash, so I don't know. But this one you can adjust for any height, whatever is comfortable for you. Obviously, when you change, you can see it's disappeared. Now it's gone again. You can basically only focus right on it if you're looking straight at it, which is kind of cool. So no one else can see what you're doing, but that's pretty much it on the HUD. There's not much else to it. It's a great feature, and people have modified their cars and added these. I believe you can do this with the Grand Prix. So anyway, I hope that answers your questions.